What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the FallenRedZeo. I am Zeo, bringing you wave 2 of the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time set. So this is a continuation of the other figures we've had before in the past, which it will be linked at the end, but we already got Leonardo and Donatello. So in this wave we get Raphael and Michelangelo. So we get them based off their Turtles in Time arcade game, where they have like the 8-bit design on their chest and everything. So just sort of colorings with the 8-bit designs into it. But just like the past set, we get the Turtles with their hoverboards in the background, so that's really cool. And then we get two villains as well. So we got a Leatherhead and then Shredder, again with that 8-bit design that you can see there on his chest. So just very cool overall, and I think this Leatherhead looks really cool. He's nice and big crocodile guy. So again, just another cool set, and awesome to finish off our Turtles in Time. So we've been waiting for this since they, split them half and half. So I will be showing the others at the end of the video, but I'm excited to take a look at these figures, and I hope you are as well. But let's go ahead and hop into them. So we're starting off with Raphael here, and we've had the NECA Turtles in the past, so they haven't changed too much. Just obviously the design with, like I said, the 8-bit design you can see there, especially on his chest, around on his belt, and then the shading there on the side of his body there, especially towards the back and everything. So you can see how it's all like the little square pixelated stuff. So that's pretty much all it is to give it that arcade style look. But we've got Raphael here, so he's going to have all the red bands. So he's got the red headband, elbow pads, wrist pads, and knee pads there, especially in all the red. He has the R there on his belt. But other than that, he's pretty much the exact same turtle as all the others. Again, they just all changed their colors. So really not a whole lot to go in for each of these turtles, but we can actually look at his movements though. So his head can move just a little bit. And these are NECA figures, so they have a lot of like stiff movements. But his head can twist around there, so it can twist all the way around. And then he can look down a little bit, look up some, so not a whole lot of range of movement though, especially going down, but he does have the range. His shoulders do come up about 90 degrees, probably a little bit under, and it can rotate around there as well, along with the bicep twist. And it does have a single elbow joint, which I'm really afraid to bend, and I probably won't do it on the turtles, especially because these bands here are already like starting to rip, and it looks like within like a movement or two, it's just going to completely pop off, which is what I hate about the NECA turtle figures. These armbands here always look like they're ripping, so I don't know if you can see that's even starting to tear from here to here. So just very, very sketchy, and I'm afraid I'm going to rip these up. And these aren't mine, they're my brother's, so I'm afraid to break them. But then we got the wrist that can twist around there and flex back and forth. Of course, for these figures, no ab crunch or anything, because they're all just solid here right in the middle, so nothing to really do with there. But they do bend at the hips, because they obviously have the hips that can move. So if you do it, they can't bend over that way, so that's really about all there is. But speaking of at the hips, we have the legs that do come up to 90 degrees there, and then they can go out to the side and pretty much do the splits for the turtles. He does have a thigh twist in there. It doesn't twist too much, but it does have it in there. And then a double knee joint that comes up about that far. That's really about all you get, especially since it's starting to crush in there on the knee pad. But not too bad. He, I guess, technically could kick his shell. And then the foot has the flex back and forth and the twist a little bit side to side, but it can twist all the way around. It's just on a weird ball joint there. So for the turtles themselves, we don't get a whole lot of new range or movements or anything. They're just pretty much all the exact same. So once you see one, you've seen them all. But of course, he comes with some cool accessories. So of course, he comes with Raphael. He's got to come with his size. So he's got his 2 size here, which is pretty cool, going stick into his hand. There, I got the size in his hand. But of course, without the elbows bending, can't really get him in very good poses. So it kind of stinks there. But we got his size in his hands. And speaking of, he comes with some extra hands here to hold the size in like a little bit different way. So he's got these weird hand joints with the handle goes down there and the blade just comes right out there. So that's kind of cool looking hands. And with this being the Turtles in Time, we got to have the hoverboard. So he comes with hoverboard as well, of course, red in the center, but has a little foot peg, so we can just take and pop his foot onto the peg. And I didn't get his foot on the peg very well. It's like either his foot hole's not deep enough or something's wrong with the peg, but it didn't fit on. But you can still stand him up there on the hoverboard, so we could go through the level where they fly on the hoverboard. So pretty cool, I think, overall there for the turtle. I mean, obviously, like I said, we've already had the Leonardo and the Donatello. It's the exact same, pretty much just different colors and new weapons is all we're going to get with these turtles. And next up is Michelangelo. So again, just like Raphael, just different colors. So he is orange this time instead of red, but this looks more like a yellowish color. I assume it's just how the game looked. So to me, it really bothers me because, like I said, it looks just plain yellow to me instead of orange. But like I said, it's got the headband, the elbow pads, wrist pads, and knee pads there, all in the yellow-orange color. Michelangelo, the M there on his belt, and other than that, he just has the whole 8-bit design and everything. But overall, looks pretty good as usual and everything. Of course, we won't look at his movements because it's the exact same as Raphael, so we don't need to look at the exact same turtle twice. And then, of course, I don't want to mess with his elbow pads at all because his don't look very good at all either. I wish they could just do something a little bit different. Like the knee pads are so thick in the back, I know it look weird, but they should do it with the elbow pad as well. But with Michelangelo, of course, we got to have his signature weapons of the nunchucks. So we got the nunchucks here with the little chain, so you can even like spin them around and everything and all chop people up or whatever. But we got these that we can go ahead and pop into his hands. So there, Mikey's got his nunchucks, and again with the arms stuff, can't really do a whole lot of posing or anything, but he's got the 2 nunchucks there, which is really cool. And to go along with the nunchucks, we also get the whole spin effect effect here, so you can take and just pop them on to one of the ends. So like on this one, you can just pop one of the ends of the nunchucks off and then just take and slide this one on. So there it's like he's actually spinning one of the nunchucks, which is pretty cool, a nice little feature. But we've had this multiple times with the other Michelangelos and everything, but still pretty fun that it comes with it. For extra hands, he's got these hands here. He can't really hold his nunchucks or anything like Raphael had with a different way to hold his size, but he's just got the thumbs up there, so he's giving you the thumbs up, just like you should give me a thumbs up down below. And then finally, Michelangelo comes with his hoverboard again that has that yellow color, but we can pop him up on the hoverboard. So there we got Michelangelo up on the hoverboard, so that's pretty cool. So we've got all the turtles now ready with their hoverboards for that level of the game. So as I mentioned before, I'll show them all at the end of the video. And our next figure up is Leatherhead, and this looks pretty cool. He's a big bulky figure, which I think is pretty cool. He's really heavy and everything, and I really like the colors of him, everything. But of course it's got the shading for like the whole 8-bit design. So his hat's like red, but with the shading and everything, it gives it the pink design. So he's got a pink and red hat. Of course, his green body there, nice bright green color that matches the turtle. Big yellow eyes that have the square pupils, I think is pretty funny. Big giant chomper teeth there for a mouth that you can see all the teeth inside, and even his red tongue in there. Nice yellow vest on that has the orange detailing, and some blue pants with some darker blue colors for the shading. Even has the purple color there in the front of it, which is pretty cool, with the yellow belt, yellow wristbands on with the shading, and then the brown boots on his feet. So just a pretty cool looking figure overall. I like how they even included his tail and everything on the back here. So if you didn't know, Leatherhead shows up in the game as the boss of the Bury My Shell at Wounded Knee level, which is I think is like kind of like an Old West level, because if you didn't know, with the turtles in time, Shredder ends up sending the turtles through a time warp, and they get sent through time where they have to just move through time and beat all of like the Shredder minions and everything through each level to make it back to modern time, where he'll fight Shredder and Krang and everything and win the game. He shows up, and I believe it's like an Old West level with a train and everything, and he's on the train and he fights him, and he crawls on the ground a lot, which you can't really do with this figure, but I thought that was pretty cool in the little video I watched. But I think the figure itself looks really good. It's a nice big bulky figure, so it's one of those that you get more bang for your buck and everything with the size of the figure. So for his movements, so his head can move up and down just a very little, so his head's about up as high as it'll go there, but it can look down. It can also twist side to side. It's, you know, kind of being stretched, it feels like, but it can twist around there. Of course, the mouth opens as you saw earlier, so the mouth has the jaw hinge there, so it can open and close there. So the shoulders come up there under 90 degrees, not a whole lot of range there, but they can twist around. Has the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that comes up that far all together, so not too bad. It's really stiff though, so it's really hard to get this to move. And then his wrist twist around and flex back and forth. He does have a little bit of, like, I'd say an ab crunch in there, not a whole lot though, but he twists there as well, so he can twist side to side. His legs come up pretty close to 90 degrees there. Of course, it stretches out to like underwear piece there, and then they can come out to the side and pretty much do the splits once again. He has a thigh twist as well right in there, so you can get his leg to twist back and forth, and then a double knee joint that comes up that far all together, so pretty nice. He's got a shin twist right there under the pants leg and at the top of the boot, so it twists all the way around there, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. And then finally his tail, so he has a tail in the back here that can twist around side to side there, and then it just moves up and down just a little tiny bit, not a whole lot of range of movements though. And then we get his accessory, so he comes with a bunch of different hands. So we've got two kind of like gripping hands, so he can reach out and grab the turtles and everything, and then he's got two grip hands as well here. And I like how this one has kind of like a finger point out, almost like a gun hand, but he doesn't come with any gun, so it's kind of weird. But he does come with a knife though, so a nice weird 8-bit pixelated knife here. Looks pretty cool. So he does take this and stab the turtles, and I saw he throws lobsters and everything, so that's pretty fun. So we can probably switch his hands out to be able to get this knife into his hand. I don't know if it really matters which of the grip hands, if it'll fit maybe even in the gun one. But there we go, we got Leatherhead all ready now to go into his boss fight against the turtles. So he's got his knife ready to stab him, ready to reach out and grab him, so he's gonna stab them turtles. And our final character is Shredder himself, so he's the final boss of the game, so we have to leave him here for last. And I think this looks really cool. I always like Shredder because one of my favorite colors purple, so I always liked his purple outfits and everything. And this has a really nice purple, so it has a nice like pinkish purple cape on it. It's kind of more of like a pink color this time, but it's got the purple cape, his purple outfit on there, some darker purple like maroon or something color legs, and then his armor plane's just a nice light blue color, which would be perfect for armor in a game and everything. So there's like a look up at his helmet, so it looks just like the normal Shredder we've had before, especially like the animated version. And it's the exact same design and everything, just obviously the depict colors are different, and he's got the pixelated details in it and everything. But the head looks really good there. I love the blue color there with the darker blue and lighter blue, and and then the really light blue color. So just very nice overall with his helmet design. And again, that goes on to his padding where he's got the spikes coming off the side, the armor padding there on his hands where he's got the spikes. And you can see he's got the bare arms, so no shirt or anything on there, but he's got the shirt on over his body in the, again, the darker purple color with that 8-bit design on there. And then again, the darker color legs, like I said, like a maroon color, like a darker red. So it's more like a pinkish color on the top and then dark red on the sides. Armor pads there on the legs with the spikes, and all the way down to the V that are same color as the legs. So it's just very cool looking overall for this Shredder. For his movements though, his head can twist there all the way around. He can look down, he can look up, so pretty decent there. The shoulders come up about 90 degrees there, so straight off of him, and can rotate around, but obviously the armor pads kind of get in the way. But he's got the bicep twist, the double elbow joint that comes up about that far, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. No ab crunch or anything, he's just kind of bending at the legs like the Turtles did, but he does have a twist up in there so he can't twist around side to side. The legs come up 90 degrees there, and off to the side he can do the splits again. Does have a thigh twist, but ours is stuck again, so can't really do any thigh twist on him. It's got a double knee joint though that comes up that far, so not too bad. Shin twist right at the top of the foot there, so it twists his leg all the way around. And his foot flexes back and forth just a little tiny bit, can twist a little side to side, but twist all the way around mostly. And then has the little toe joint there on the end of it that flexes back and forth. So overall, not a bad looking Shredder at all. This is probably one of my favorite ones just because of the colors. I just love the look of the colors on him. So that is pretty awesome. So for his accessories, he comes with some different hands. So he's got 2 set of grip hands here, so you can switch those out since he's just got the fist. So you got 2 grip hands, or you have more like open grasping hands there. So he's got the 2 hands doing just the different open grasp. But for his other accessories, which are really cool, so he has like a flame blast effect that he shoots from his hand. So like first one up here, we've got this effect that's, you know, pretty cool looking, I think, overall. I don't know how it'll go on his hands. I'll have to probably play with it because it looks like his hand goes in here and has like 2 finger holes and then like the places there for his spikes and everything. But a nice big old flame. It's nice green going into the white and yellow. It looks really cool. It's a nice flame effect that can go onto his hand. Or he has this other flame effect that's him like shooting his hand out that you attach to his arm, and it's kind of his hand just stretching out there, and it's all like electric looking and everything. So that's really cool. So we'll have to put these on his hands. And finally, he comes with a beam sword, as it's called, but it's pretty much a lightsaber. So it's kind of nice handle here. So we'll definitely need a grip hand to put this on. So I've discovered with the hand, so this hand here that has kind of like the 2 fingers pointing out and open there kind of works for the effects here, since obviously it is like he's kind of doing something out of his hand. So we can take like the fireball here and with the holes and everything, it just lines up perfectly to fit there on his hand. Of course, it doesn't really hold too well, and it's really heavy, so it's, you know, kind of got to have his hand up there so it doesn't fall off, but it just kind of sits on there perfectly for his hand. So it's got a nice like fire effect. And then we can also go ahead and take this other effect, and it just clips on there, and then you can put his arm up in there. It's like he's shooting his hand up there, and again with that hand design, kind of makes it look like he's actually doing something there with his hand. So that's pretty cool that it can reach out. So it's reaching out to grab you. But for me, I'm more interested in him having the beam sword. So very nice there. He's just got the grip hand on with the saber there in his hand. So he's ready for battle against them Turtles. So there we go. Got both ways of the Turtles in Time NECA figures all together. So of course in the first wave we got the Foot Soldier with Slash and Donnie and Leo, and then the new set with Shredder and Leatherhead with Mikey and Raph. So very cool overall. So we have the 4 Turtles there on hoverboards with the Foot Soldier in the back, and then the 2 reptile creatures of Slash and Leatherhead, and then of course Shredder, the mastermind, in the middle of it. So very cool set overall. I really enjoy this. Now that we have all this, you can make like a whole display based off the Turtles in Time arcade game. I think that's pretty cool overall. And like I said, I really enjoy these characters. I like the nice bright colors and everything that they're made of, which of course is perfect for an arcade. So I just really enjoyed this set overall. Let me know what your opinions were in the comments down below. But if you enjoyed and want to see more NECA Turtle figures, hit that subscribe button because we have more coming up. But thank you all for watching this video. I hope you stay awesome out there, and I'll see you next time.